It's Sunday. We have a podcast to do. I'm really angry, but I'm going to calm myself down. I'm going to remain professional for as much as I can. But, I feel the treachery in the air tonight.
I do too.
And I'm going to address this right here on the All Effing Wrestling Show. But what else we got in store?
We got some news, and then we're going to do the roundtable. We're going to do it a little different this week than we do normally. We're going to make it a true roundtable. All this and more on the All Effing Wrestling Show. Time to hit it. Hey, good morning, good afternoon. If I don't see you till later, keep your supper warm. It is, of course, the smoothest Mac Daddy in all of wrestling podcasts. I'm running for office, and in so, I am the JFB, James from Boston.
You know, I'm so distracted, so upset. I even forgot to hit the AFW.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I'm so upset that I didn't even hit that.
He's flummoxed, people. He is literally flummoxed at this point.
I'm not even feeling my bubbly son of a bitch self.
Why is that, Canada Dry?
No. You be quiet until I'm ready to talk about this.
It's okay.
I am the patron saint of professional wrestling. To many, that means a lot. Some people it means nothing.
Yeah.
I am that flat, not gingered up today. I'm that flat, less than bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada effing Dry, damn it. And at Bad Take Cade, you get no shout out today. No shout out for Bad Take Cade.
Oh my God.
That's how mad I am.
Yeah. Holy cow.
In fact, I would say that F word, but we're not 5 minutes in. So F you, Bad Take Cade.
We are joined by some guy who calls himself the commissioner. I call him a turncoat. Hey, Roman, guess what? Your father's a turncoat. He's a Benjamin Arnold.
You know, Benjamin Arnold? What's that?
Or Benedict Arnold. That's it.
You know that Benjamin Arnold, he was a bad man.
Oh,
You're nothing but a Benjamin.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, turncoat.
I am the commissioner of the AFW Prediction League and still your EVP of everything AFW.
For now.
I don't understand why you're so upset.
I'm getting word that Helen is doing a full, entire investigation of this. That's what I'm getting right now in my ear.
Listen, GM Joe's wife. Is it Michelle, right? Well, Tiffany Michelle, right?
Yes.
Tiffany. I think I'm alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. Tiffany, listen, I got no hard feelings for you. You didn't stab me in the back. You didn't rip my heart out. So no hard feelings. We're still normie buddies.
I mean, I didn't stab you in the back. Technically, I just need Shane in the face. That's all I did.
Okay, let's address that. Do you want to? We're going to address this because I feel like, there's some tension here.
This tension is only one way. I am free as a bird.
Oh, when you stab someone in the back,
told you. I didn't stab you in the back. I need.
No, I'm not predicting this season. I'm commissioner, so you lied.
Yeah.
No, I said that last season, and I held true to my word.
Yeah, look at the storm in JFB's box there.
It's a dark day in AFW. It truly is. I mean, I don't even know where to begin.
So he joins Rich and Ruthless. You know, I gave Commissioner Joe the job of commissioner just a few weeks ago. Yeah. And he knew exactly what he was doing when I gave him that job. He had this all planned out.
I give you my word, I'm still going to take AFW to new heights, and it started last night.
Even Roman.
I trusted you, Dad.
I trusted you. You betrayed the whole family.
You see that guilt just pouring out thick and heavy?
Your own son. Roman, you are a good kid. You are an honest kid. You're like the nephew I never had.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, I'd like to say this to you, Roman. I love you.
Yeah. Even this. I mean, here we go. GM Joe's wife sounding like a hater.
I sounded like the hater. She mad at her normie friend.
And now, yeah, even Roman acknowledges the travesty and injustice that occurred. I
don't blame Tiffany. You have corrupted my son. He is over there throwing up the tribal chief one to you guys now.
Listen, I don't blame Tiffany because Tiffany's standing by her man, and I applaud that.
Yeah.
But she has more loyalty than Joseph Graham right now. That's what I'll say. Tiffany has more. Like, even though she's a pop singer from the 80s, I'm not going to hold that against her.
No, I'm not either. It's truly a dark day. For those who don't know what's going on, AFW is our prediction league. We kicked off season 5, the revenge tour, as you can call it, and it was at Wrestle Dream. And we have factions. And the top faction, of course, in AFW is the Deadly Saints. Both me and Canada Dry are members of the Deadly Saints. And then we opened our doors. We opened membership, if you will, into our country club. And we opened our hearts and our coffers, petty cash, to Commissioner Joe.
Oh, by the way, the petty cash is now closed.
Yeah.
Figure out how you're going to pay for the laws. Yeah.
I don't even
figure
know
out you're going to pay for shit on your own. Those little things that you took for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pay for that out of your own dime.
Your car, gone. You have to turn in the lease. It's gone.
Well, it's not that.
You think I'm still the EVP? You know I have connections.
I'm getting
this is what it comes down to, JFB.
Yeah.
It's not about loyalty for Commissioner Joe.
No.
Like, even though I gave him the spot and the spotlight here on the podcast.
Yeah.
He sold out for money because he's not worried about the TDS money. He's not worried about the AFW money. He's looking at the rich and ruthless money. It's all about money. He sold out.
Yeah. Look, you say sold out. I say buy in. Potato, potato.
Yeah, well, your son thinks we should fire you.
Ironclad contract. Ain't nothing you can do.
Jim Joe's wife, Tiffany, says he may have made a good choice. And Roman says, no, he did not.
No, he did not. We got a civil war going on.
Listen, my little nephew, Roman, is he's smart. He, out of the mouth of babes. Yeah. Out of the mouth of babes.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's Kush.
We got Kush and Berry cereal here.
What's up? What's up?
We're talking about Joe, the turncoat. We want to get your thoughts about GM Joe joining the Rich and Ruthless and leaving TDS, the most prestigious of
like you have you got no dog in this fight, You're like, Commissioner Joe sold out for money.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this?
Well, shit. I mean, I definitely don't like no Benedict Arnold or anything going on, but I guess if the price is right, I guess we must pay.
Are you saying that you would sell out your group for a little bit of Do Re Mi?
I would not do that. As a group I started, I definitely wouldn't do that at all.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You know about loyalty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Tons of loyalty and stuff, man, goes a long way, stuff, man, for sure.
It's just a shame. It's a dark day in TDS, but you know what? You can't fire across our bow and not expect repercussions. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, this is all I'm going to say. You know, Rich said it's looking like it's going to be a little bit more rich and ruthless on Wednesday nights for Dynamite After Dark. Listen, I'm just going to see what. I'm not saying I'm firing you at all. I'm just going to say I'm going to see what Jeremy Isaacs is doing on Wednesday nights.
Oh,
okay.
Get out of here. You're suspended.
Look, we all know I'm the glue that holds the two podcasts together. Just saying.
Oh, God. It's gonna be
And you're laughing. You're laughing. Like, no apology. No, I'm sorry, Kendra. You've done a lot for me. I'm just moving on. Just cold and malice.
You know, I'm going to be honest. You didn't give me a chance. You came on here hot-headed and just throwing.
No, like you broke my heart. You broke my heart.
Yeah.
Is what you did.
We're here.
Yeah.
Broke it. Just shattered it.
Right in the
Sorry you
field.
feel that way, but sometimes just got to look out for number one.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. We're a family. TDS was a family. There's no number one. There's we move together or we don't do it at all.
Right.
And that's the difference. That's the difference between the Deadly Saints and the Rich and Ruthless. The Rich and Ruthless look out for number one and whatever they can do. Like let's bring up an example here. Caleb Bain beat Stu Pickle for the Rising Superstar Championship.
Yep.
Caleb Bain had no business winning that match. You know why he won? Because Rich and Ruthless decided they wanted that belt, and they told Caleb Bain what to pick. So Caleb Bain didn't do it on his own.
It sounds like we're the family here.
Oh boy.
No. It's about taking something that someone had earned, like Stu Pickle.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
Caleb absolutely earned it too. If memory suits me, weren't you the one who created the necklace and bestowed it upon Caleb that eventually became this title?
Well, shit.
Yeah. I didn't have any plans on who's going to get it, but I think that the masterminds of Rich and Ruthless should let Caleb make a few picks on his own. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe we'll see.
I'm too upset. Let's get on to the news.
Yeah, let's get to the news. I'd ask Commissioner Joe for his opinion, but
this is what I want to. Before we go to the news, I want to read this comment.
Yeah.
Do not act like you're innocent.
Yeah.
From my nephew Roman Graham.
Yeah. Yeah. Roman, newest member of TDS,
and I want to invite Roman.
Yeah.
This is breaking news right now. I'm inviting Roman to predict an AFW league. And you know what? I offer him a spot in the Deadly Saints to do something about his dad. He's gonna come under my wing. I'm gonna invite you. If you want to come under my wing and join the Deadly Saints, you're in. So it's on you, Roman.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a response.
Yeah.
Yes. This feels like this feels a little good.
Yeah.
Really honest.
I'm just gonna throw this out here. He doesn't have a Facebook, so it's gonna have to be something.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's okay. He can telegraph. He can do a telegram of his predictions. We'll put him in for him. That's all I'm saying. There's ways around. There's ways to work the system.
But I'm taking this kid under my wing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show him the right ways to do things.
Yep.
With that being said, let's do the news.
Let's do the news. From the four corners of the globe, from our studios to your home, this is FNN, the FN News Network, starring Canada Dry and the JFB. CM Punk is in the news for a couple things. One, CM Punk's going to be taking some time off after his hellacious battle in Hell in a Cell against Drew McIntyre. He's going to take a few days off, but he is included in the plans for Survivor Series War Games. So I don't know how he's going to fit into this.
Is that the short time off, maybe?
Yeah, 4 weeks. That's enough time.
This is basically the I'm not participating in the Saudi show vacation.
Yeah.
That's basically all it is.
So I have a question here.
Yeah.
So, they gave Swerve a really hard time with the chair shots, and they gave some others really hard time with the chair shots in AEW.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre took a toolbox, a non-gimmick toolbox to the head.
Yeah.
20 staples.
20 staples.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it floating around that this is unsafe.
Nope.
That WWE is unsafe. This is interesting. This one just floats right under the radar.
Well, apparently with Drew McIntyre, because he's also in the news, there was a lot of concern in the back with the amount of blood that he let go. Like he was gushing blood that entire match. Right away.
That gash on the top of his head was hard.
That spot should never have been allowed.
Not even close.
Something that's going to cause that much damage.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be hitting anybody in the head. It's 2024. No. We know better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if AEW is going to take shit for that, I think we deserve to pass the shit around equally.
I agree. And Punk, of course, was on a podcast, talked about the NXT Performance Center, which currently right now resides in Florida. At least it's still standing. But it is moving to Las Vegas, where they will open up the Performance Center with the UFC Performance Center and have an all-inclusive Performance Center for both UFC and Punk talked about how he wished that they had it when he was coming up instead of going to OVW for a little bit. He was really high on it. So, he talks about how it's inclusive, where everything is there that you need. There's medical, they got 6 rings, they got training. There are guys and girls in various stages of recovery. So, yeah. Speaking of,
can I just have a moment here?
Sure.
Caleb Bain says, acknowledge the new Rising Star champion. Hey, Caleb Bain, I acknowledge this.
Yeah.
Halo. Hey, JP. Halo's up.
Hell yeah. Halo's up. Aw, and hearts too.
Yeah.
Guess who was at SmackDown this past Friday? Backstage, it was the Boogeyman. Ooh, the Boogeyman. It's funny. He took pictures with everybody. He stayed after and signed. So, and speaking of people who showed up, we'll talk about Wrestle Dream in a little bit during the roundtable. But Rico showed up.
Yeah.
I need some more Rico on some AEW television. Rico belongs with those guys. Sign that man.
The fact that Billy Gunn acknowledged the storyline in WWE that he was trying to get him married to Chuck, and then turn around, no offense to what's his face, to Anthony Bowen, says, yeah, but it was funny because at first I was like, who is this guy? And then they were like, oh, it's Rico. And I'm like, oh my God, Rico's.
Billy Chuck could be like, Billy Gunn could be like, You know, Bones, I was once gay.
So guess apparently, and the WWE is just giving away Legends contracts. I'm waiting for mine. It's probably stuck in the mail because our mail system sucks. But nonetheless, someone has signed a Legends deal with WWE, and that goes to Hornswoggle. That's right. Hornswoggle is the newest Legends.
Good for him, because guys like that usually get pushed aside, and they don't get any compensation. But Hornswoggle in a video game is pretty cool.
Yeah. I could see him taking on Braun Strowman and taking him down.
Yeah, like Hornswoggle versus like.
I want to see Brock F5 him in the video game.
I want to
spinning.
I tell you, are these characters that they do? Are they free, or you got to pay for them?
Oh, now you have to pay for them. They come in.
It's like downloading a Hornswoggle character.
Yeah,
might be. If I'm playing WWE, I'd pay for a Hornswoggle character just to.
I would too.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you could probably just go to Community Creations and there's a Hornswoggle.
Yeah,
like a short ass. Do they have like little people in there?
Yeah,
I would imagine they could mod it. I would imagine.
Yeah, that's why some of these guys that create the characters in WWE games are freaking amazing. Like absolutely amazing what these guys can do with community.
They're better than their developers themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Says a lot about 2K24. So someone
right now on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. Jimmy Jacobs is no longer with AEW. He has resigned from his position as producer and writer for AEW. Kind of interesting to see where he goes. I like Jimmy Jacobs.
Remember when you killed him off a few episodes ago?
Who knew he was foretelling the demise of Jimmy Jacobs in AEW?
Yeah, maybe we just he was dead to Tony Khan. Maybe that's what.
Russell is going to die. They just go to AEW.
I will be interested to see where he goes because he's been on all three major North American companies' payroll for creative, and he's left all three.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about this is that it seems like the stories in AEW right now are kind of getting a reboot after the resigning of Jimmy Jacobs. So they're kind of shaking up the stories and kind of distancing themselves.
I will say, if the rumors are true about Jimmy Jacobs' involvement in creative, I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah.
Apparently, he did not. He was not a fan of Okada or Takeshita.
Yeah,
that tracks.
And Takeshita was seemed like he was his push stopped.
Yeah,
because of Jimmy Jacob.
Yep, absolutely. Well, good. I'm glad he's gone. Let's talk about pay-per-views. Let's talk or PLEs, and let's talk about Bound for Glory. That is TNA's WrestleMania, Bound for Glory.
This is in Cush's wheelhouse.
What's that?
This is Cush's wheelhouse here.
Yeah. So normally what happens is you'll get a sponsor for the entire pay-per-view. You know, like, hey, this pay-per-view is brought to you by Snickers or Three Musketeers or, 1792 whiskey as the Donnybrook on Monday. But never has a pay-per-view's main or a pay-per-view match ever had its own sponsor. The Monsters Ball, which is PCO, taking on none other than Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder. The Monsters Ball match is actually going to be sponsored by a movie that comes out November 1st. So we have an official. So I'm wondering now, maybe we might start seeing individual matches getting their own sponsorship. Can we try?
I like this, but I think they probably tried Monsters Energy first, and they're like, okay, what else can we get?
Yeah.
But I like this.
Yeah, Kush, what are your thoughts?
I mean, if you already got onto the VHAB and Prime for their sponsor and stuff, man, why not?
Yeah.
You got to pay the bills and stuff, man. You got to keep things rolling, and that's a good way, man, for them to keep things, man, interesting and stuff, especially if you got major pay-per-view like Bound for Glory, which I'm definitely looking forward to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Caleb Bain comments, Motor City Machine Guns, could they be on SmackDown this Friday?
Sounds like it.
Sounds like it, yeah. Very much so. Joe, what are your thoughts on
So WWE has had this a couple times where there's been specific matches that have been sponsored, like the Mountain Dew Lights Out match, which was awful,
Yeah.
and then the zombie match between the Miz and I forget, but that was another match. As long as the sponsorship makes sense, I'm all for it. Don't just shoehorn in a sponsorship into a match and then try to change the match to the sponsorship.
I like this on a Raw or a Dynamite or a SmackDown or a Collision.
Yeah.
I don't like this for the pay-per-views. I don't want to see this on any pay-per-views, any PLEs.
Yeah. I agree.
Because AEW did this too.
Oh, yeah, with the Texas Chainsaw
They
Massacre.
did a few like that. They did I think they did Sonic Hedgehog as well.
Yep. They did. Yeah. I mean, hey, you know what? If it's available for rent and you're going to pay good money, you damn well know promotions are going to take that deal in a heartbeat. So Taker did a pay-per-view or a podcast recently, talked about numerous amount of things. But the one that really hit me was Taker is really high on Gunther. Says he doesn't do anything crazy, just slaps the living shit out of you. right from the Taker's mouth. I love Gunther. I think Gunther is blossoming into an amazing champion right now. What are you guys' thoughts on Gunther?
I want to see more from Gunther. I find that this character lacks depth. He needs something. Like, I want to see him be a chicken shit heel or something. Like, just being the dominant guy. Like, there's only so much you can do with that. You need a little depth in your character.
Yep, I agree. Kush, what are your thoughts?
I feel like Gunther is, he definitely has the pedigree stuff inside the ring. We all know that. He has a good presence about himself. He has the look. He got the the old school in-ring man savvy, really personifying being the ring general. He just needed to just keep doing promos like he's been doing lately, like against Goldberg at Bad Blood. Get more of a personality stuff going to where he can be solid, if not more, on the mic.
Yep.
I'll give you that. Like,
if he has that going for himself, he'd be a complete package, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll give you that, Kush, because I think like his shit talking on Brett and Goldberg were really good for his character development.
Yeah. Joe, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, like I have no complaints with Gunther. I think my biggest thing is like to me it doesn't feel like Gunther is being presented as the main guy on Raw, which I think needs to.
Oh, we're having some technical difficulty. I don't know what's wrong with something's wrong with your connection there, Joe Graham.
Oh God.
Very funny. But no, like I said, it's just treat him like you put the world title on him. Yeah. Treat him like you treated Seth. Make him a big deal.
Yeah. I agree.
And don't have him defending his title on Raw. He should be on the PLE.
Yeah. I agree. All right. Two more really quickly. So for those who watched Wrestle Dream, Daniel Garcia came out, got a few moments of airtime, and decided to go ahead and tell the world, it wasn't at the Wrestle Dream, it was at Dynamite, right?
Yep.
Yes, it was on Dynamite.
That he is officially signed with AEW. He is not going to WWE. And the rumor is AEW's deal with Garcia was higher than WWE. So they shelled out that cash to keep that kid in, which is perfect because that kid is red hot right now. And going into a possible three-way story between Garcia, Adam Cole, and MJF. Woo!
You can even throw in Jack Perry with the TNT.
Jack Perry might be a part of this.
Perry, we got shenanigans abound coming up in the next few months. That's all I'm going to say. And besides that, the last bit of story for those who are wondering where Kill Switch, aka Luchasaurus, has been. He was found unconscious by his fiancee.
Wow.
It turned out he had the flu and low oxygen, which led to double pneumonia and could easily relapse. Unfortunately for Killswitch, he's not going to be wrestling anytime soon, if ever, because of the double pneumonia makes him likely to relapse again.
This feels like Brody Lee. This has
It does.
very Brody Lee vibes to it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
he
not
was
good.
like the report I saw said like that he was days away from like permanent lung damage.
Yeah. It's going to be
I hope
tough.
he gets better.
The only thing we can do is just thoughts and prayers for him and hope that he's able to go ahead and make a recovery and possibly wrestle again. But yeah, that's our news, guys. That's it. That's our news. I'm gonna leave
I'm
this
curious
into-
what this new roundtable's all about.
Oh, well, let's play the intro and then we'll get right to it. So here we go. The main event. This is the main event of the evening. So for the main event, we talk about the roundtable all the time. But basically, what happens is the JFB gathers questions that he has pondering in his skull and decides to ask them, and we all go around the table and we talk about it. This one's a new edition. It's called the Roundtable What You Want to Talk About edition, where I will let you pose a question that you want answered about professional wrestling that we can all discuss. So I'm going to kick it off, and I'm going to talk about Wrestle Dream, specifically the main event from last night. It was Jon Moxley. It was Bryan Danielson. And the end result is that we have a new AEW World's Heavyweight Champion. It is Jon Moxley. He did defeat, with a ref stoppage, and beat Bryan Danielson.
So really interesting. Do you kind of I feel like Commissioner Joe kind of like understands Jon Moxley as a human being?
Yeah.
Like he betrayed Bryan Danielson. Do you kind of like feel like what that guy's all about?
He's always been my favorite.
So what should, obviously with Bryan Danielson's condition and his health, the talk of it was, Bryan Danielson came out and said, I'm going to stay AEW champion until someone beats me, and then that's it. And I think what we had was an opportunity to really celebrate the career of Bryan Danielson. There were some shenanigans last night. They beat the living hell out of Danielson. There were people that came in. Private Party came in. They got beaten up. Darby Allin came in. He got beaten up. And in fact, he got electrical taped or duct tape tied to the corner while they beat the living hell out of Danielson. They put a bag over his head. Wheeler Yuta turned on him, although I don't know if it's a true turn as much as it was just conflicted and decided to go with the gang. But Bryan Danielson was escorted out of the building on a stretcher. And I think that this is obviously not the end of his story. I feel like he's going to take a couple months to kind of recuperate. He's going to try to come back for some kind of revenge. I don't know. But I want to pose the question, what in lieu of letting Danielson ride off into the sunset, have everybody come into the ring and have this really great moment to celebrate Bryan Danielson's career, because Bryan Danielson is probably one of the top 5 wrestlers of all time. and I've been following this guy since Dragon's Gate. And so I posed the question to all of you guys, which is, do you think they made the right call in destroying Danielson in the middle of the ring? Or do you think they should have gone ahead and done the happy moment, his family come out and they celebrate and the fans can, because it seemed like it was an abrupt end. Like it seemed like it just came out of nowhere and they just abruptly ended it. And it just seemed like nobody knew what was going on at the time. Canada Dry, you go first.
I think that that this is a planned, very larger picture.
Yeah,
that's going to make sense a little bit later. The big picture is going to unfold, and you're like, oh, we're going to connect the dots, and it's going to be like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if it's just Jon Moxley becoming champion again, I don't want that.
Yeah.
We don't need a 4-time Jon Moxley champion when there's so many others that can be raised up. But I think like when Shane McMahon is revealed as the guy pulling the strings, I think it'll be really cool. And I think, like you said, Bryan Danielson is going to return to get revenge a little later on, long-term storytelling, and possibly at the end of that, you could have the celebration.
Yeah,
because if he's coming back for one more match or occasional, if you're only wrestling 2 or 3 times a year, then you don't want that big celebration.
Yeah,
like for example, John Cena, he only wrestles 2 or 3 times a year. He's getting this big send off.
Yeah,
so if Danielson's not done, then save the send off for some other time.
Yeah. All right. Kush, your thoughts?
I mean, I didn't really watch, man, an event like that, but I've heard a lot of people, man, a lot of negative things about how the way the match ended and all that, feeling like Bryan could be done. But this was just like a half an hour or so before understanding that that's him being done as a full-time competitor.
Yeah.
But he's still going to be wrestling here and there. He's going to be pretty much like John Cena is in WWE. So I guess, man, in Tony Khan's way of thinking, that's a good way, man, to have this new group with Moxley and Claudio and them really be this ruthless new group, take no prisoners, even by them betraying Bryan Danielson and their own old faction by having it happen that way.
Yeah.
I feel like somewhere down the road, Bryan and Moxley are going to have another matchup, and I feel like that's where Bryan's probably going to get his get back. Just like, like Canada Dry said about long-term storytelling.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's probably a necessary thing for right now, for the time being. And hopefully we'll probably see the reveal of who's really running the show with that group, because Moxley even said himself a few times, he's not the leader of this group.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Commissioner Joe.
I think it was absolutely the right thing to do last night for the best interest of the company, story-wise. But also, like, we've gotten to give the emotional send-off and welcome back to Danielson when he was in WWE. This is clearly what he wanted to do. He wanted that Warrior's death go out on his shield, and he wanted to do it with one of his good friends in Moxley.
Yeah.
So, like, and on top of that, it's one of those, I need to watch Dynamite on Wednesday to see what happens next. Yeah. And it's been a while since I've come away from an AEW pay-per-view saying this Wednesday is must-see.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I was all prepared last night. I had my tissues ready, and I had my took an extra vitamin, and I did all this stuff, and I was just prepared. I even told Jessica, I'm like, I'm going to bawl my eyes out. When he loses, I'm going to bawl my eyes out. And I sat there and was just numb. Like I didn't know how to feel about it, because I feel like he needs a great send-off. And I think you're right. Last night was probably not the right time to do it. But if they're going to retire him officially, they need to do it in Washington. So I don't know what next pay-per-view or next Dynamite's coming up, but you need to do it in his hometown and give the fans the proper way to send off Danielson, because I thought The match itself was great. It was a really great match. And it did a great job in invoking emotion of how bad asses John Moxley's stable is, because they are just freaking, like we knew they were violent. We didn't know they were this vicious.
Now I want to comment on Yuta, because Yuta, he's getting the rub in this.
Oh yeah.
So he's hit the jackpot just as much as Pac.
Yeah.
Because he's getting a bit of a spotlight here. They could have easily just kicked him out and brought in someone a little bit more name-worthy.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that they're sticking with this kid,
yeah,
I think it's pretty cool. And I think like Yuta had a chance to like show a bit of his character off in this sort of a hard angst moment.
He's been doing good the last couple weeks, showing that emotion of the anguish of what do I do.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
he showed a lot more emotion than Commissioner Joe. I'll tell you that for free.
I think like I said, I mean, I think that ultimately, I think it was a good decision to make Moxley's group look unhinged and uncontrollable, because they're going to run Ranshot, and it'll be interesting to see where they take this and what they do with it. To me, that's the most interesting aspect of this is, what are you going to do? Because I think you got to write Danielson off for a while, at least until the beginning of next year. And in doing so, gives you the ability to kind of shoehorn him in, but find that perfect place to put him in and get his revenge, and bring Bree and involved with it, her pleading, please don't do this again, and he's like, I gotta do it, I gotta do one more, that's it, win or lose, I gotta get one more in against Moxley. And I think that's going to be real interesting long-term storytelling, because AEW does two things really well. They do amazing long-term storyline, and they do short-term fights that get you interested in the matches. Like, for example, Willow versus Mariah May. I mean, they did enough to get you enticed, and they delivered. That was a great freaking match. And I think that's what AEW does well. We have great short story and great long-term story. That's perfect for me. So, Canada Dry, what did you want to talk about?
I want to talk about 10,000 members.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna put my my forgiveness hat on for Commissioner Joe for about maybe five minutes, because like I want to just celebrate all the good people.
Yeah.
Here at the AFW, everyone has just added so much. Like, it's such a cool community that everyone just contribute. Like JP, like without you, like coming alongside with your movie background, like you gave us instant credibility from the start. And like as mad as I am at you right now, Commissioner Joe, as mad as I am at you right now, like I give you cred for stepping up and filling the holes that needed to be filled when they were needed, and I thank you for that. And that's all I'm giving you right now, because I'm still a little pissed. And Kush, thank you for your contributions as well to the AFW community.
No problem.
I mean, it's amazing. 10,000 people are involved with AFW.
Well, no, there's more than that, because we have other platforms.
Yeah.
But like just on Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook community. It took us 4 years, and it's interesting because the algorithm really was in our favor in the last month or two.
In September, like it shot up.
Yeah, like I was predicting a Christmas time 10,000 celebration, but like
Halloween, baby.
Yeah, just before Halloween. So thank you so much to everyone who supports us, and thank you so much to anyone's ever been a part of AFW League, anything. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
because if you contribute in a little bit, like personal feelings aside, we didn't clash or whatever. That's okay. Thank you so much for your contribution to this brand. Thank you. Also, I want to thank we got our first super membership the other day.
Yeah,
so,
really.
So that's
exciting. Here on YouTube. Yep.
Yeah, we have someone who's contributing as a sidekick member every month. So
I like it.
So yeah, he gets special privilege when he shows up. He gets his chat sitting right away.
Who is it? Can we reveal who this is?
What's his name? Do you remember what his name is, Commissioner Joe?
I do not remember.
But it says in the chat he has a special sort of.
Yeah, he has like a special emblem by his name.
Yeah, and it's a different color. You'll see him.
I like it. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats. Yeah, I mean it. There's a lot of stuff on Facebook. I mean, it's a deluge of just randomness that exists. But for us to kind of corral on Facebook and get 10,000 people involved with Facebook is huge. I don't see any other independent wrestling groups doing anywhere close to that. And we're knocking it out left and right because we stay consistent. We just do what we love. And that's what makes this so awesome is, and it's a platform for wrestling fans by wrestling fans. That is the common thread that we all carry, all 10,000 of us, is that we're an army of wrestling nuts. We go crazy for wrestling. So
absolutely.
I am just honored to be part of this and to be part of this journey and stuff like that.
And it seems like we have a little celebration every little period here because it's something new happens. A little
celebrate the small stuff and the big stuff.
That's how a community should be.
Oh yeah. Kush, what do you want to talk about?
I think with wrestling the way it is and stuff is that still at a all good time high, especially man with big companies of course for WWE and AEW stuff, man, getting more TV deals, getting like WWE switching over man to Netflix with Raw and AEW man getting things going with Fox man on the Mexican version and stuff. TNA, getting sponsors. I just love the fact that most of the major companies are getting more of a rub, getting more of a endorsement deals going on, and having it to where they can share their whole product and stuff for people who like streaming, because streaming is part of our society and stuff right now, along with Wi-Fi, internet and stuff, and it definitely helps when you have it on streaming platforms like Netflix and Max, to where it's affordable for people who love wrestling like we do so much to actually watch it and to afford it. I think it's a win-win situation, even though that you may not make as much money as you would, man, in those pay-per-views. If you get more subscribers, you'll still, balance that out and stuff and be a good long-term plan. I mean, like WWE, like I said, it's been over, about 5 years since they've been with WWE Network, now with Peacock. I can see the same thing going on with AEW too. And TNA, they already got their own streaming platform, and it's helping them stay above ground. And that's something I really like and appreciate, and hopefully they'll keep it going. And who knows, maybe they might have something else been involved with the internet when it comes to that in wrestling, because that's what's going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing because when you really think about it, every major promotion has a streaming deal. NWA with CW, New Japan has New Japan World. A lot of the Japanese wrestling overseas and Mexican have streaming. TNA is on Triller I mean,
Yeah.
it's really amazing what is going on, because wrestling was not always accessible to everybody. You had to have cable to watch USA and TNT, TBS, and during the Monday Night Wars, that's the only way. You couldn't go on. There was no Facebook. There was no Twitter.
No.
There was no Max. There was no Peacock. There was none of this stuff.
The teenage version of me would love this right now.
Yeah.
I would love it so much, just as much as I am right now. But
yeah,
it's a wonderful thing. It's just a good thing to be alive in more ways than one, and having that and be a fan.
Yeah, I mean, you look at companies that don't follow trends, and like, for example, Borders Books. Borders Books had the opportunity to be the pinpoint for Amazon and their ebooks. And Borders said, nah, it's never going to take off. Nobody's going to invest in digital readers. Everybody wants books. Where's Borders now? They aren't even in business. Amazon is. Amazon knows what's going on. And that's the thing. When there are trends that are coming up, you have to be able to focus. The WWE understands that a decent majority of their current people watching are younger adults that don't have time, that don't have the patience or the attention span to watch 3-hour Raw. So they knock it down to 2. But the best part is they're doing championships on freaking X, where they have the speed championship. And you got to stay with current trends. It's hugely important.
Can I just say one thing? The best thing about everyone going to streaming platforms, no more ratings talk about, oh, this company lost this many viewers. Like, now it's just go watch your wrestling whenever you have the opportunity to consume it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that we don't know what's going to happen with AEW's pay-per-views.
Yeah,
it seems like we're getting a discount. I don't know how that's going to affect the rest of the world, but Americans who have HBO Max won't get a discount on the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
But what really is really good is you're no longer bound by that Wednesday night time slot.
Yep.
You can now, I don't have time to watch right now. I'm going to stream it later.
Yeah. And
you can stream Dynamite and Collision and maybe Ring of Honor. Like, who knows? Like, I think it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
I just want to show some comments here quickly. Tiffany Trim, it's been amazing and fun to be a part of the league and community. Tiffany says, y'all promote good as well. Mental health issues are important, and you aren't afraid to promote good. And good will lead to good. And Roman's like, what? To let you know, Roman, I haven't forgiven your father. It was a 5-minute reprieve. Now I'm back to being mad at his ass. Don't worry, we'll take him out. So there you go.
There you go. Joe, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I didn't know we were doing this, so I didn't have anything planned out. So I think I just want to talk some wrestling. But so after last night's pay-per-view, every champion AEW main roster are heels. And I don't think I remember the last time that's happened.
That's never happened before. I posted that too in the chat. I'm like, wow.
Well, that to me, like, I think it would be this could be good if it wasn't for the fact that Tony Khan has turned all of his young stars heels as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's my problem. Like, AEW has especially with Danielson gone now, a discernible lack of legit baby faces.
Yeah.
Like, you got Will Ospreay and you got Swerve.
And that's it.
Like, who else?
Garcia.
Daniel Garcia is not on the level of a Swerve and an Ospreay.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, so yeah, you have your Wills and your Swerves, and then down below you have Garcia and Darby.
Cole.
Darby, I think, is obviously
Darby is probably on the level of Swerve and
I'd say he's just below.
Yeah, just below. And you got your Orange Cassidy's.
Yeah, and Adam Cole, who came back. I mean,
Yeah.
he came back as a face.
So that's
Got
probably
Dan
why
Garcia.
he switched to baby faces, because they were turning all these guys heels.
Yeah.
Could this be a planned out thing? And could they be part of a big picture? All
It's
these
gotta
evil champions?
It's got to be, because you see the ending of some of the faces like Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin and Derek Garcia being right there outside looking at them inside there. And I'm feeling like maybe they're going to have a little faction or civil war going on.
Yeah, they definitely.
Like imagine you get all the evil champions in the ring with their factions and everything all together, and out comes Shane McMahon, and it's this big like NWO style moment.
Wow, that would be
cool.
something.
That would be so awesome. God, that would be so awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, AEW's got a face problem right now. I mean, it's not entirely horrible, but
it's imbalanced. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely tipping. It's like Empire Strikes Back.
And if Wardlow comes back, he needs to be a face.
Yeah.
You know what? That is funny because Mr. Isaacs last night said last night's ending felt like a start like Empire Strikes Back, where the bad guys win, and it had that feeling about it.
I mean, for those who don't know, A New Hope.
To bring it more current, this is Thanos snapping at the end of Infinity War.
Yeah.
This is what this was last night.
Yeah. Darth Shane.
It's pretty awesome that, because I didn't realize it, but now that I'm thinking of it, like tag belts, the TNT, the TBS, the International, the World Heavyweight Championship, the Continental Champ, they're all held by heels. How awesome is this? Good for you.
It's in October though too. It's kind of funny that way.
Yeah. Like spooky season. Let's make the bad guys all champs.
Ooh.
I completely agree. Like it's going to be interesting to see what AEW has, because I mean, despite the fact that their attendance is not all that great right now, and I think that they're going to start touring to smaller venues again, like they did.
That was a good crowd last night, though.
That crowd last night was packed, and they were amazing. They were absolutely amazing. The guy, the hometown guys got the biggest pops of the night, including Danielson. Danielson got a huge pop last night.
Can we talk about the biggest heel move of all, though, is not letting the fans get to chant the final countdown with Danielson one last time?
Yeah.
Tony Khan, just like, yeah.
I mean, they played that song. They played that song a little longer than they were supposed to.
You know what
they get their money's worth, that's for sure.
You know what they did all night long? They paid tribute to Bryan Danielson's Eco WWE Championship with that little wood sort of paneling that came out for intros.
Oh,
it felt very, very Eco Championship belt.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah, that's a good pull. Good pull, Canada Dry.
I'm good for the small things.
Yeah. I think AEW has come to a point where they have to kind of reset, and me and Jess were talking about it last night. Adam Cole comes out, and I'm like, "Whoa, Adam Cole's coming out for MJF. MJF is a bad guy." And then Adam Cole obviously turned face. So what does this do for Undisputed Kingdom? Are they gone? Is this it?
But they did give
Dude, they did tease a face turn by the Kingdom, like they were shaking Hook's hand and everything.
Yeah.
have
So maybe
we had a face Kingdom before?
No,
they've always been.
They've always been heels.
Yeah.
So, in the glory days of ROH, they were your heels that you wanted to just see their faces get smashed in.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. Adam Cole looks healthy and he's back. Wardlow, I'm sure, is right around the corner and he'll be back. I mean, AEW, man, like they hard reset everything,
I feel like it's a soft reboot, not really a hard.
No, I think it's all right. I think it's it could be a soft reboot. I mean, they're going to keep some storylines, but they're going to change a lot of stuff, I think. And like the Elite is no longer the focal point. That kind of seems like it's not falling apart, but they're not going to follow through with it right away. Obviously, you want to put the Elite in a position where they can excel. And muck things up. But right now, everybody's gassed up on Moxley's whatever they're going to call themselves. I still think they should call themselves the Death Riders, but that's just me.
Please read my comment if you're interested. I'm not interested.
Not interested, Caleb Bain. Not interested at all. Who else wants to talk about?
I want to talk about the Saudi Arabia Championship.
Oh yes, let's talk about that because.
So
that's all it's about.
I don't know how true this is, but Vince Russo makes a claim that the Saudi people bringing him in, paid $10 million for this title to be a thing.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. Saudi's just made of money. All that oil.
Now, if you're WWE, you take the money and you're laughing at the bank. Like, I don't see why you turn this down. You take the money and you kind of ask the fans to bite the bullet on this because you can't expect them to care. I feel like.
See, I disagree. I think we should care because WWE has, especially Triple H, has said we're with Saudi Arabia to make change in the world, and they're not making any change. They're just taking their money.
Yeah. Well, I think he's just saying that as a placard. I don't feel like it's legit.
He didn't have to say that at all. That was my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, when you're a publicly traded company like WWE, it's all about the bottom line. They could go ahead and say, we love Vladimir Putin because Putin's going to give them money. And so we're going to have a show in Russia and people are going to get outraged. But at the end of the day, you're responsible for running your company in accordance to the stockholders, not to the fans.
Well, I think that's a little extreme, and I think the stock would take a drop if you decided to go to Russia. Like the image of the company would suffer.
Oh, greatly, yeah. But ultimately, it's always going to come down to cash.
Yeah,
it's always going to come down to money. Whether it's an advertisement on the mat, whether it's we're going to go to Saudi Arabia, which is a horrid country for human rights. It sucks. I mean, it does. But at the same time, I'm a stockholder in WWE, and I know full well that I want them to make money. They make money, it makes my stock go up. And then I could be the next Vince McMahon, and I could cash out and then start my own wrestling promotion. Just saying. It's possible. Who else wants to say something about professional wrestling? Y'all gotta have something on your minds.
I will say this. I want to talk about AEW's women's division.
Okay.
I think it has gotten so much better over these last 6 months.
Yeah.
Like I said on our review on our podcast show last night, I think Anna Jay should be the one to take the TBS title away from Mercedes Moné. She has improved leaps and bounds, and that tour in Japan did wonders for her in-ring work and her character work.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, she wrestled at Stardom. She wrestled in AAA, or not AAA, CMLL. She is amazing how much better she is than she was 8 months ago. She's on a whole different level.
I want to see Anna Jay on the mic. I want to see her talking smack. I want to see some personality from her, because if you look at her, this woman is beautiful. She can wrestle now.
Yeah.
If you can get that charisma down, she's gonna be a star. You can eventually put that world title on her.
Yep.
Anna Jay is the total package. She's shown that she can talk on the mic.
Yep.
So I'd like to see that more from her. So I'm excited for Anna Jay.
I think it's amazing what they're going to be able to do with the women's division, because you look at it on paper, WWE looks like they should have a huge advantage, especially with Julia and especially with some of the new girls that are coming
Sky
in.
Blue.
Yeah, Sky Blue, but AEW's got it. Like they have the chance and the opportunity to really cement themselves as the place where the best women come to wrestle. Plain and simple. I mean, like I love what WWE is doing with the women's division, especially in NXT. But at the same time, can Roxanne Perez transfer from NXT to WWE, to the main roster, and be as effective as she was in NXT? I don't know if she's got that kind of star power, And
I want to ask Kush this. What do you think? Like, when you think of the women's division in WWE, do you think that it's really heavy on stars at the top, but then it's like very watered down when it comes down to the main roster?
I feel like that's part of the difference between Triple H and HBK's booking. HBK, he feels like everybody feels someone important, even a little guy, like giving them, some matchup, a little rub and stuff here and there. Because see how the way people like Javon Evans, man, came out of nowhere after he came up from the NXT level up, and now he's one of the most rising, stars, man, down there. And the same thing with Ren Sinclair. She was formerly like Maddie and stuff off of the independent scene, and she was just jobbing us up to everybody left and right, like Lola Vice and Jada Parker. And now she's part of the No Cortez crew, being somewhat like the co-leader to Charles Dempsey and stuff on there so far. Without her, Charles Dempsey wouldn't have never have won back that Cup championship and all that.
Yeah.
So they're really doing a better job.
But I mean more the main roster, Kush.
The main roster, like I said, I'm going to get to that. The main roster, though, it just feels like only some particular stars are getting more shine, getting more the story stuff going. And the ones that you don't see as much, you see now on Twitter or the X for the men's and women's speed championship.
Yeah.
Which is something that is good, but yet it's bad because, hey, you ain't got to watch another show or anything on it, but you're going to see it on the social media. They should do them a little more better than that way. That way they have storylines to where they actually feel more important than that. Because you can't fit everybody in every kind of show. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can also have some storylines that don't involve titles to make them seem like something's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think, go ahead.
Like who are the stars of the women's division in WWE?
Well, I mean, other than the ones that are champions right now, I would say probably Chelsea Green, because she don't really need a championship or anything to keep herself relevant. She does everything above and beyond, character-wise, and keeping herself, man, being talked about. Because at the end of the day, whether it's SmackDown or whatever view, you end up talking about her, no matter what she gets to, no matter the losses she has. Like when she got pushed off a ladder to the tables by Tiffany, even though Tiffany got the praise and stuff, man, to me and Miss Money in the Bank, people were still talking about Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Same thing with Mia Yim after she's now getting a rub after beating Chelsea Green and Power Niven back to back. People are still talking about Chelsea Green.
Yeah. And
also with another star, I'm thinking that's not a champion, that's getting really a nice little push lately. It's got to be like Bronson Reed. Yeah. Bronson Reed is finally being treated like the monster he should have always been right from the get-go.
I love Bronson Reed in the women's division.
Somebody that you can't control, you cannot tame, and he's pretty solid on the mic. I feel like he just needs somebody to talk for him a little bit more. You talk about like Sophie Hathaway for Chris Statlander. Why don't you have somebody like that talk for him, and he can really get down to business?
Yeah,
that's what the ending of that match with Seth Rollins, with Braun Strowman, with Seth coming in and hitting him with the curb stomp. I feel like you should have had Bronson Reed win clean.
Yeah.
And like maybe do the beatdown on Braun Strowman and then Seth comes
Bronson,
in.
he's hurt anyway, so he should have won that match anyway. I thought Bronson was going to win, but I don't know why they didn't.
Like Seth didn't need to come in and do the stomp because I feel like if there's a feud with Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed, I can't see Bronson Reed winning this. So you got to give Bronson Reed the push when you can. Like he should have got that win over Braun Strowman, and maybe have Seth come in for the save and scare him off into the crowd or something. That's how I would have done that.
Yeah, that would have made more sense. That would have been more better booking on that.
Yeah,
but I know he's going to have a feud with Seth Rollins and stuff now, so he's already getting to where he needs to be, and that's being on the forefront, facing against one of the best in the very business with Seth Rollins. So that's a win for him anyway.
That's tough though, because like he goes with Seth Rollins and doesn't get any wins.
I'm pretty sure he might get a win and stuff if they have like a 2 or 3 match man kind of rivalry to keep Seth Rollins busy, because I know that the end game is going to be CM Punk and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. So why not just have him get a long little sort of feud with Bronson Reed? Anyway, that way he'll still look good and Bronson Reed won't look that bad.
Yeah.
I'm okay with some 50-50 book in there, but I don't want just Seth Rollins coming out on top all the time.
And I feel like Bronson Reed, he should be a future champion stuff anyway. So, and I'm hearing rumors though that Jay may not have that Intercontinental Championship for long because he's going to be involved in that Bloodline storyline that's going to be building up for SummerSlam anyway.
Yeah.
But why can't you bring
it might be Dominic Mysterio might take off of him, or maybe they can have Braun.
Why can't you bring in that Intercontinental Championship to that feud?
Because I know Survivor Series are going to probably have a champion versus champion thing, and I know they're going to have like a men's and women's war games.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
That's going to be interesting right there. I can't wait for the men's one because I know it's going to be Bloodline versus Bloodline.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had that SmackDown thing at the end where Roman and Jimmy are like, we need help. We need help. They didn't mix any words to let the fans know that there's.
I like to see how they're going to get that help, knowing that Jay is on Raw.
Yeah,
and they're on SmackDown.
It's going to be Sammy's on Raw.
I know. How's that going to happen?
We all know the brand split doesn't mean anything.
It won't. It won't, because watch this. They're probably going to have somehow the Bloodline, invade Raw, and then have Jay and them involved some kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bloodline will probably attack.
You know what would be a good thing? If they cost Jay a title match against whoever it is, have him lose the Crown Championship, and then they'll have Jay be motivated to go to join up with Roman and Jimmy.
I mean, you got to deal with the whole Roman wanting Jay first.
Yeah.
That's the big issue at the moment.
That's going to be a big issue right there. He'll have no problem joining with his brother, his twin brother, Jimmy. Is it going to be how he's going to put his difference with Roman to the side? What's going to matter? I can't wait to see how that's going to come about. That's going to be very interesting, though, going to Survivor Series.
All right, guys. That's the end of the show. We made it through this version of the Roundtable.
Maybe next time give the heads up so we can come up with some topics.
Next time we'll come up with topics. Yes.
Yeah.
So you're wondering, how can I support you guys? Well, all the links are down below. You clickety-clack on your keyboard like a keyboard warrior. Bah, 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 bah. Next thing you know, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you're on Instagram, you're on TikTok. Wherever there is social media, we have a presence. But you're asking yourself, JFB, Canada Dry, how the hell do I show the world that you guys are the best podcast for professional wrestling? Well, there's one way to go about doing it. You can go to this place, get that t-shirt, or you can get this t-shirt. Oh, that's not a t-shirt.
Ooh, I love that t-shirt.
You can get the original middle finger shirt. You can get what Canada
Dry the big effing wheel. You want the big effing wheel is what you want.
Big effing wheel. The big effing bullet, my friend. Woo! Damn. Yeah.
Its official name is the big effing wheel, since we did
big effing wheel. Yeah. I mean, we got a multitude. I mean, we got the AFW State Professional Wrestling. We got the effing comic book store. Which, by the way, we have a show Friday night where you can talk about comic books and pop culture with the Canada Dry and Lord Ryan Rich, who is.
I'd love to have you as a guest on the show.
I would love to be on the show. I love comic books and I love pop culture. So, where do you get these t-shirts from? There's only one place to go get them. ProWrestlingTees.com/effing wrestling. You can get all your gear because we're a t-shirt company that occasionally does podcasts here and there. And a prediction league too as well. Yeah. Anyways, on behalf of Canada Dry,
can you give the Just Keep Fighting speech?
I can't.
Because I don't want Commissioner Joe anywhere near that.
No, he doesn't deserve it. He lost his privileges, my friend. On behalf of Canada Dry, on behalf of the Cush, Mr. Cushenberry Cush Money, on behalf of that guy down below whose name shall not be named, Lord Voldemort, I am the JFB. And there's times in our lives where we're down. And it looks like we're not going to get up. And it looks like we're not going to survive. We're not going to crawl out of the dark hole. And we want to just sit there and we want to give up. But the problem is you can't give up. You cannot give up trying. You need to climb out of that dark hole. You need to climb and reach your hand out, because guess what? There are people all over this world that are going to put that hand out and they're going to grab you and they're going to pull you out of there. And then they're going to put their arm around you and you guys are going to walk together into the bright sunlight called tomorrow. That's what it's about. You have to just keep fighting. I can't find the outro. There it is.
That's okay.
This has been an effing worldwide media production.
That's my dad.
You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter,
You don't
and
have any of
others.
those.
Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing
Obviously,
wrestling.
JFP,
And while you're there, click
on
like
this
and
channel
subscribe.
right now.
Want
Those
some
shirts are
swag?
old. Put them
Head to our
shirts.
store at ProWrestlingTees.com/effing wrestling.
Look at that smile on JFP's face. Look at the smile on his face.
You can find all these links and much more
Now to give you the
at
finger
our
right
awesome
back,
website, effinwrestling.com.
Video games.
As the JFB always says, you can book it.
Book it.
Oh, yeah.